Today on Typical Chicago Fans, we have Sinkers and Floaters, the TCF Sports Minute, our college football Week 8 preview, and the NFL Week 7 pick show, and of course, a TCF Top 3 this week of the best Halloween candy. Let's roll. Hello and welcome to episode 117 of Typical Chicago Fans, brought to you by our incredible sponsor, Connect Roasters. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at typical_Chicago. Head to Facebook and Instagram, type in Typical Chicago Fans, give those pages a like. Head over to our YouTube page and subscribe there for all of our content in video form. Make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Spotify, Spreaker, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast. We are there, but make sure that you follow Zach and Matt. Of course, that is Zach at Z Lilia TCF and Maddie at schools_01. You can follow me on Twitter at BoomyTCF, but make sure you go to Instagram and find our friends at Beer Baseball Repeat for our new merch. I just got mine in the mail. I've got 2 new hoodies, shirts, tank tops. They're perfect. They're incredibly done. Make sure you go check out Beer Baseball Repeat on Instagram for the link for our new merch.
The charcoal one my brother got. He tagged the TCF account, and that thing looks it's pretty sharp. That color looks great.
I did the athletic, the athletic T-shirt, and they're a little bit different material. They're a little bit more pricey, but I'm telling you, they are worth every penny. Absolutely pops off of that gray. You cannot go wrong. So shout out to Beer Baseball Repeat. Boys, we're in full sports swing now. We've got Bulls back. We've got the Blackhawks, the Bears. I mean, the Chicago Sky just won a title. How's life going with Chicago sports and sports in general, just in full swing right now?
Yeah, we have Major League Baseball, the NBA, NHL, college football, and NFL all going on as we record this podcast. So it's a great time of year for sports. The weather's getting a little bit crispy, so we're getting into the 50-degree territory, which I love, and I think both of you also love that kind of weather. It's a great time of year.
Yeah, it's great weather. I don't hate it at all, but mowing my whole yard in it for about 2 hours tonight, I'm just now getting feeling back in my hands. So, you take the good with the bad, but, the sports being back and not being 95 degrees out, you'll take it. Maddie, how you been, man?
Good, boys. It's it's definitely like Big Cat tweeted. It's chilly season. That's here. It's, start getting those flannels busted out of the closet from the way back sections. It's that time, and it's approaching quick. The real bad shit's not too far behind, so we just gotta take these nice days that we can get them. Like you said, we got a full slate of everything but the NFL. We won't talk about the NFL in Chicago this past week, but we'll talk about all the other sports in the city if we need to. But definitely leave that one off the table for this week.
We will absolutely get into that in the TCF Sports Minute and, of course, some college football talk and NFL talk. But as always, let's start off with sinkers and floaters. My sinker is scuba diving dorks. There was a man in Israel who was scuba diving. He found a 900-year-old sword. That part's pretty cool, but he probably could have made an absurd amount of money off this, and he just turned it over to the government and made zero money off of it. Instead of giving him a check like they should have, they literally gave him a certificate printed off on like printer paper that said, "Thanks for your find." It was pretty sweet. It's a Crusade era sword, I believe, from the 1100s. They pulled it up, and it was like full of like crustaceans and stuff, because obviously it's been on the seafloor for a long time. But this man made $0.00 because he just turned it over to the Israeli government. So that's kind of tough. You got to take that. It says it's about a yard-long sword, and I believe in the Mediterranean coast off of Israel. So that's tough, man. You got to, instead of millions, or at least a couple $100,000, this poor guy got a piece of printer paper saying thanks.
Yeah, you're not getting that from me for cheap.
No.
I'm selling that. And especially, I mean, what are they going to do with it? What's the government going to do with it?
And it's not even like you can display it like right now, because it's like just piled in 900 years of. stuff.
What are they going to do? Is it going to help them figure out something? Like, what's the point of them having this?
Exactly. That's
Holy
exactly.
Grail or something, you know?
Right. It's a sword. It's cool. It's 900-year-old sword, but at the end of the day, it's a sword. And this guy could have made. I think I was listening to a Hard Factor, and they were talking about it, and they said that some other comps, like swords like it from not as long ago, were going for like a couple $100,000. So this guy missed out on an opportunity for a couple $100,000.
Rough going for the blade there.
And they made a good point. Imagine being that guy's wife and be like, "You found what?" and you just handed it over. Like,
well, isn't that just like watching? It's like watching Pawn Stars, and it's like, okay, these guys are getting ripped off.
Yes.
Right.
Except for he got ripped off for $0, not even just a little bit, and he just got a piece of paper for it. So that's tough.
My sinker, getting out of bed this time of year. It's chilly in your house. Like your house is probably as cold as it's gonna be in the morning time.
Yes.
And you're trying to get up. You got to go to work, get out of bed. It's impossible for me. It's almost impossible.
Zach, I'm completely with you. I'm usually pretty good at being up before 7, and this last week has been brutal. It's been 7:10, 7:15 getting
It's
up.
nice, and you're nice and cozy, and it's
dude. And I got a
warm,
heated blanket, so it's even more like I don't want to move at all.
Then you take the blankets off, and it's just freezing cold.
Yeah, not fun. Not fun.
For me, it's like you know when it's that time of the fucking year when it's like hot shower season. Like I'm a cool shower. I don't like to take a hot shower in the summer.
Oh, I'm hot shower all year round.
Nope.
Yeah, I'm definitely not in the summer. But like when it's like gets to this point, it's like okay, yeah, it's like crank up the heat a little bit. Boys, I gotta get off the weather for a minute, but you know me. My sinker is college basketball, and like I said, you know me. My basement was designed with two things in mind: it's football season and March Madness. I love college basketball, so how could that possibly be my sinker? Well, it's Coach K's farewell tour that's firing up, and boys, I'm going to throw the fuck up because this is getting ridiculous, and we aren't even into like basically,
we haven't even kicked the game off.
Preseason.
They haven't even started fucking Midnight Madness or any of the.
Can you imagine
against the FIFA All-Stars?
How Midnight Madness is going to be? It's not going to be for the players. It's going to be for Coach K.
I sent you guys a tweet and from Tate Frazier, who's maybe not an impartial a viewer of Duke basketball, being that he's a Carolina guy. And
you mean the guy who's a huge North Carolina fan?
Yeah. Love Tate Frazier. He's the best.
He is the best. I love that podcast.
Tweet. The picture of Coach K, like the projectile mural that's our Coach K's floor at the Cameron Indoor Stadium. It's just like, God, Jesus Christ, what's this guy gonna do all year? I mean, like Roy Williams, nobody's even heard from him since he retired. And I'm not wearing a Carolina hat or anything. I'm not biased here. But this shit is going to be so painful to watch for the next 5 months because he's going to eat up every bit of it. And I just hope everybody's
It's crazy that he's been coaching for I don't know how long. They've called it Coach K Arena or whatever.
Coach K Court at Indoor Stadium.
That he has been coaching on.
Yeah, been coaching on his own floor. I'm sure he had to
bless that
too.
Don't they usually wait until you retire to do that?
I always thought so too, Zach. It's actually been like
it's like the guy died.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the guy at Oklahoma State they did that when he was coaching. They've done it for Boeheim. It's been like a more recent in the last like 10, 15 year trend, and I find it super weird. Like, and I'm not like Matt.
Maybe it's just that I'm not a fan of Coach
K. They did it in Carolina for Roy Williams too. I'm just going to say that and it's in Dean Smith Center. But they also named the stadium after Dean Smith while he was still coaching. But I'm just gonna be. I got to make it fair and impartial here.
Is it just me, Matt, or does it seem like this is something like more common in the more recent years with like a lot of these like coaches who have been around for?
Yeah, it's a way to get their stamp, their legacy kind of imprinted.
You say that, but guess who didn't? Roy Williams.
No, that's what he did.
No, he did.
He did.
He did.
It's Roy.
No. We're talking about naming the court.
Oh, okay. No, I was talking about. Sorry, I meant like that he didn't have to do the whole year thing.
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
Tour. Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah,
totally.
That's ridiculous.
Joke,
yeah,
we haven't heard from him at all.
No,
they just did an athletic feature basically on like what he's been up to since he retired. I literally just came across, and it's like, okay, yeah, he's just like living the dream, golfing and shit.
Yeah, he's not like been, having this year-long, parade over it. And like I said, I'm not like a Coach K hater, like a lot of people. Like I just on the basketball aspect of it, a lot of things he does, you coach for 50 years, you're going to piss people off. But like this is going to just be every single ACC game. There's going to be something. Like it feels like Duke doesn't even have to be playing in the game.
He's like going to go out the center court at every stadium. Hey, did you guys got me a gift, or
yeah?
What are you guys doing for me here? It's just
imagine if at the end of every game he just went out in the middle of the court and laid down.
Yeah, or I'm sure what he'll do is go out to the court, grab the microphone, and give everyone a life lesson. On how to live their lives. So can't wait.
How to act like winners.
Yeah. Can't wait.
My floater, on the other hand, is the Bulls. Not only are the Chicago Bulls good, but shout out to this massive bull who broke out of his pen in Tucson, Arizona. I mean, this thing's huge. I mean, we're talking, maybe a couple 1,000 pounds here. They had to shut down a school because not shut down, but just like kind of take precautions. I don't want to make it seem like that. But this gigantic bull got out of his pen at a ranch and was caught, and they had to call in like extra police to surround this bull to get it home. Just out here, like, you said, living his best life, just munching on someone's grass around the school in Tucson. Tucson's not really a place I really think of when I think of like bulls getting loose. I think of like Mendota, Illinois. But
we were golfing that one day, Boomy, and they were literally cops on the road trying to get cows to go home.
Well, and then Zach, you left out the best part there is when we walked to 14's green and there were like these giant imprints on the green. And you were like,
that was crazy.
What kind of deer was out here? I'm like, it was probably those cows.
Yeah, a big deer.
Great. Those were, I mean, like you said, it definitely seems more something like for our area, not Phoenix, Arizona, having to, shut down a school for a couple hours because there's a 2,000-pound behemoth of an animal just parading.
Hey, Boomy, there's animals everywhere.
Valid point, Zach. Valid counterpoint.
My floater, late night NBA games, and I also have the NBA League Pass. I have a week free, but I have direct TV stream, so I think that they let you put it like into your streaming package. So I'm going to do that because of all the I do like to have the red zone for NFL, but out of all the sports, I think the NBA League Pass is the best because nothing's better than like a 9:00 random NBA game.
Well, not even in addition to that, Zach, you get the game where you get home at 5:00 and there's an East Coast 6:00 tip.
And so if I want to, I can actually watch my team on there.
Right, exactly.
In Major League Baseball, for some reason, your local teams get blacked out, which is dumb.
So dumb. The MLB can't get out of their own way. But no,
that makes no sense.
Zach, you could literally sit in your house and watch NBA games from like 5 p.m. until 1 a.m. Theoretically.
Not to go all natty bucks on you too, but if you have ESPN Plus, they have all the NHL games on there now.
I forgot that.
I do have that.
Ooh, that's a life.
East Coast hockey games leading into West Coast games too. So same thing as the NBA. So it's a nice little setup.
Good thing I have a lot of TVs.
Yeah.
Is it mine? Am I?
Yep, you're up, Maddie.
Boys, all right. Sorry about that. My floater, and it's literally a floater, is the new sport that I came across on the Twitter sphere, and I missed my calling, and it's the Balloon World Cup, and this is the most outrageous sport in the world, and I don't know how I never came across this or how it was never actually developed into a competitive sport, but it's literally one-on-one in a
I did see this.
It's a glass encased like living room setup with like couches, coffee tables, TVs, trash cans. In this one, there's a small vehicle like a Volkswagen Bug is in the middle too, and it's one-on-one. You're swatting a balloon. don't let it hit the ground, just like you did when you were 2 years old up until you're
Yep.
like 45 playing with your kids. So this guy, it is literally exactly what you would think. Hit the balloon. I got to dive over a couch to keep it alive. You got to dive over a fucking coffee table to keep it alive. Back and forth. It is wild. This one was country versus country. So I don't know.
That's
I just
sweet.
kept watching on Twitter. I kept watching these videos on loop. It was phenomenal. I need to get involved in this somehow.
Maddie, have you been training around the house?
Regularly. Kid wants like 7 or 8 balloons blown up at any given time. So that's all we do. That's how I've been teaching him how to catch a ball, is using a balloon. So
Maddie's got a subscribe and save on Amazon. He just gets packages of balloons shipped to his house
dude,
every
balloons
day.
you can get for like 3,000 of them for like 14 cents. It's fucking phenomenal. It's fun for days for the kid, dude. It's beautiful.
This sounds like some good content. Maybe we got to get a TCF version of, Balloon
Be
Wars.
diving over his train set in the living room while I gotta fucking keep the Balloon World Cup alive for America.
Exactly. I love it. I saw that. It was either on Instagram or something. And I was
outstanding.
like,
I'll retweet this video too, just so people can get an idea of it. But
and Maddie, when your wife says, "Hey, what are you doing?" You're going, "I'm training for the Olympics."
Yeah, I'm gonna be an Olympian. I'm a pro athlete now. I declare.
yeah, Matt's just like diving over couches and knocking shit over, and his wife's like, "What is going on here?" Training.
I'm absolutely phenomenal at the amateur level. So it's just like I'm not kidding you when I tell you this.
Now, just to get Maddie to the pro circuit, we'll slap a TCF logo on it, and we're good to go.
I mean, I will jump over anything I need to keep that little red fucking balloon popping. It's just got to stay alive. Just got to keep it up.
See a business venture in our future, boys. Let's jump into the TCF Sports Minute. As we said earlier, sports are everywhere in Chicago going on right now. Of course, we got to start in the NBA. The Bulls off to a 1-0 start with a win on Wednesday night over the Pistons in Detroit, 94-88. Now, let's be honest about this. Not the best offensive night, 94 points. But the fact of the matter is they gutted it out at the end. They finished it off. They won the game.
Because they weren't leading for most of the game, and then that fourth quarter they really turned it on, and you kind of saw how having all these veterans on the team is nice. They had defense. Caruso, very good defender, only 3 points, but his defense, I think he had two steals or something like that.
Yeah, and it felt like he was diving.
He was all over the place.
He
was all over the place. Like they were saying, there's a reason why he was playing some big minutes with Anthony Davis and LeBron James when he was at the Lakers, because they trust him on defense.
Yep. And he had 4 steals last night. I saw a bunch of plays. He's diving into the crowd for loose balls. I mean, with Kobe out, I mean, you're going to have to get a spark somewhere. And I mean, he just does the little things that a lot of guys don't want to do. And yeah, he had 3 points. He had a big 3, and I believe it was in the second quarter. But like at the end of the day, I mean, the Bulls did enough. They gutted through enough through a tough offensive night. They got 15 out of Vooch. Pat Williams only had 6, but he's still coming off of an injury.
15 rebounds too.
Yeah, 15 and 50. He had a double-double by like halftime, I think. And it was just one of those. I mean, Detroit's not a good team. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. No. But like, I mean, the fact is, they held a professional team to 88 points, which you don't see very much in an NBA game anymore.
And you're not going to win pretty on opening night anyway. Let's not kid ourselves.
And they played the Pelicans Friday and Detroit Saturday. So
yeah. Hopefully
we can start the season off hot.
Like the way the roster is built, it's a lot of veteran talent still some of it maybe at the tail end of their primes, but still a lot of veteran talent in their primes. They're still so productive, a lot of production, like at just various levels of the game. And
Kobe White will be back, I think, in about a month or so.
Yep.
So
he had shoulder surgery, which I kind of forgot about.
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely overshadowed by some of the other names on this
Patrick
roster.
Williams is back, though. That's good.
Yeah, and obviously, don't panic. I mean, he had 6 points. He didn't play a ton last night. I'm sorry.
He's going to be fine.
Yes, exactly. He's also like 20 years old, so let's not
enjoy this Bulls team. This is gonna be a fun season. Watch these games; it's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
he's the perfect complement to that roster because he does not need to score. He can just kind of do his own thing. such a good athlete. He's got a really good head for the game already at a young age.
And like with DeRozan can create his own shot whenever he wants.
And frankly, if Patrick Williams turns into DeRozan, that's a decent role model to have playing right now.
Yes, absolutely.
That's the nice thing. So much veteran leadership with some rookies, some younger guys. It's awesome.
Yeah, I like the way the roster's built.
We talked about this earlier. It's just we can finish on the Bulls on this. It's just fun to have good Bulls basketball that you can go in and watch every other night.
Very true.
On the other side of things at the Madhouse on Madison, the Blackhawks, they stink. They are, what are they now? 0-4-1 or something like that. They don't have a win yet. And
just lost to the Canucks seconds ago. Just went final 4-1.
They stink.
They were they leading the game 1-0?
No.
No.
Matt
brought up 1-1. So it was 1-1 then?
They have not led a game for 1 second yet this season.
So they had it 1-1 and then lost 5-1.
Yeah.
4-1, yep. Back-to-back games, 4-1. They've lost. We'll start the season with Colorado. They lost.
They had 2 straight games.
Then they lost to the Devils, 4-3 in overtime. They were down 3-1 late, and they got 2 goals late to tie it up too.
Gave up a goal. Gave up a goal within the first. Gave up a goal within the first 13 seconds of that game. Then against the Penguins, they gave up a goal within the first 12 seconds.
Jeez.
Got fucking smoked by the Penguins without Malkin and Crosby. Got smoked by the Islanders, even though they played pretty well. They actually they're kind of hanging around. It's just one of those games where you outshoot your opponent, you outplay your opponent, and they got the puck luck and got a couple extra goals. And then tonight they just got fucking floored by the Canucks. Canucks too. It's a frustrating game because they're not they weren't a playoff team last year. They've got a really good young core that they're building, and they got a lot of young talent that they're building. But you would expect a team loaded with veterans like the Hawks to be able to handle a team like that at home. Those are the games you got to win, and they got fucking destroyed 4-1 again. I know one of them was an empty netter, but they're just flat. They don't have any punch right now. They can't stop anything. I don't know what happened to they've got 4 solid defensemen, and they just cannot fucking go a night where they're not giving up 5 goals. It is insane.
They won 2 straight games. 2 straight games with giving up a goal within the first 12 seconds, 15 seconds. Within 12 to 15 seconds of 2 games in a row, they gave up a goal. That's insane.
Connor Murphy, Calvin Nahan, they're fucking got good players. It's not a roster thing for the defensemen in this back end. And why they're giving up so many goals. What is the fucking problem? It's Jeremy Collins. 2 straight games. Jeremy Collins is a problem.
Yeah.
2 straight games that you just lost the face off at the beginning. Then you just go and give up a goal within 12 seconds. Like, what's going on there?
Yeah. Matt, you nailed it, man. This is a Colleton problem.
Colleton problem, and it stems from above him, too, because Bowman's a problem, too. And I don't mean to beat the same drum that so many people do beat about Bowman and Colleton. The fucking problem is obvious.
Yes.
It's been the same problem for the last 5 years. It's been – they got rid of Joel Quenneville, who was one of the best minds for the sport. Why – for a guy who rode the coattails of his fucking dad. That's why Stan Bowman got here. Let's not kid ourselves. He's not some fucking brilliant hockey mind. He didn't work his way up to the top, He worked under his dad for this long. That's how he got here. Jeremy Colleton, fine. Maybe he's people talked about him for the last few years about one of the young coaching prospects in the NHL. I'm not seeing it. It's a team. He hasn't adjusted anything. He hasn't adapted to his roster whatsoever.
And the worst part is we fired one of the greatest coaches of all time. Won 3 Stanley Cups for the Blackhawks, and we got rid of him for a guy who we don't even trust now.
The thing is, it's not like Quenneville lost the locker room.
No,
it's not like the players wanted him out.
Patrick Kane was disappointed in himself because he was sick and couldn't play one game. And that was one of the games that he thought led to it, and he felt bad. It's like, and we're letting that guy go? Come on. That's when you were just like, you guys just don't know. They just don't know what they're trying to do.
One of the best coaches of all time.
Frustrating.
That's fucking joke.
Insane. And that stat about them not leading a second so far in their 5 games in.
5 games.
Heads need to roll. On a positive note, the Chicago Sky have won the WNBA finals. I don't know about how much you guys watched, but that was really cool to see, and it felt, obviously, we're probably not the biggest WNBA, aficionados in the world, but even just being a hometown team with, Candace Parker on the team.
That was cool. That was very cool.
Yeah, and I think they had one other player.
Another person from Joliet.
Yeah, it's not is it Vandersloot?
No, it was Allie Flay.
Allie Quigley. Yep.
Quigley.
Yep. That was just fun to watch. I watched more WNBA this season than I probably ever have, and it was just good to see it. Do you guys have do you watch any of the finals, or I even watched some of the semifinals?
Yeah, they played really well, and I think I saw something like in 2019 or 18, Candace Parker was almost done with the WNBA. She was not playing very well, and then she went to LA and started playing really well. She won Defensive Player of the Year, and then she went to Chicago, her hometown, and wins the WNBA championship. That's just a cool story in itself.
And I love the pettiness of the Chicago Sky, because they beat Phoenix in the finals, and Diana Taurasi, arguably one of the best women's basketball players of all time, got pissed off, broke a door, and then the whole team refused to talk to the media. They got a $10,000 fine for that. But the Chicago Sky took the broken door and had it on stage at the celebration they did at the park.
Beautiful.
Yes, they had it on stage when they were doing their celebration at the park. That's like high level pettiness that I just absolutely adore.
That's like a real life skull emoji. I like that a lot.
And I think, if they can keep this team together, I don't see why they can't find themselves back in the playoff next year. And I don't know, boys. They play at Wintrust Arena, one of the newest stadiums in the state. I think we might have to go check out a game there. I know, Zach, you've been there for a DePaul game, so we might have to make our way up there.
It's a very nice arena. And it's easy to get to. Easy to get to.
That's huge.
Yeah, that is huge.
And they win games.
Yeah, and they win.
Not kidding ourselves.
Oh yeah. Chance the Rappers on stage. It's just fun. You know what I mean?
It did look like they were having a good time. So last up, I know you guys probably don't want to get into it, but the Bears, we don't have to talk about last weekend. But you guys got the Bucks this weekend.
Wait. So I don't want to talk about last weekend, but let's talk about the 13.5 point, 12.5 point underdogs. Let's talk about that.
Wait.
Well, pick your poison.
It's not going to be great. Well,
no.
I don't know. I'm over it. I'm over it. It's just I get my hopes up. Like for the Packers game, you get your hopes up, and you're just like, oh, we're gonna go in, we're gonna play. Oh well,
drive,
blah blah blah.
Down, you score, you shove it right down their throat. Things are looking good. Get a stop. Got the ball again. We're driving, and
the rest happened. I don't know. And we
didn't that Photoshop that somebody made of all the Bears fans flipping up Aaron Rodgers.
Phenomenal.
What a hell of a Photoshop.
The Photoshop.
So we didn't.
The Packers celebrating like a turnover, and then the refs are celebrating with them. That one's priceless too. That's one of my. That's
so played out.
But
okay.
Other than that, it's with Robert Quinn. He's playing well. Goes on the COVID list. In the Damian Williams was playing well. Had to go on the COVID list. It's just we can't keep things moving.
Real good. Herman was moving the ball like crazy on him.
One step forward and two steps back. We didn't do a show last week, but I did not take the Packers in our pick show. I was worried about last weekend. The Bears have been playing well. They they had beaten Vegas the weekend before. And then but like you said, Zach, it's one step forward and two steps back. You pick up some momentum in the Vegas game, and then you come out, you start the game really well. You feel like you've taken another step, and then it's all hell breaks loose. And now you have to go play the defending world champs. And it's man, where were those steps forward that we had just taken? And, do you guys feel the hope, do you still have hope for the future with Justin Fields, or is that starting
I think Justin Fields is going to be good going forward. I think it's nothing to do with him. It's just it's just coaching staff, and it's just like the defense that Khalil Mack. I think I saw Khalil Mack and Akeem Hicks didn't practice again today, so who knows? I feel like throughout the whole season that's going to be a problem. With Robert Quinn on COVID list, and I don't know when Trevathan's going to be back. The secondary not doing very well, other than Jalen Johnson. Like, it's a lot going on, and I'm for once I'm not worried about the quarterback.
That's true.
Wnba, I think you can obviously admit to being, not being a Bears fan, that you can kind of look at it with an unbiased, lens. The good throws that Fields has, being so young into his career, 4 or 5 starts into it at this point, his good throws are elite level throws. Those are elite quarterback throws. Like he's got to be more consistent. Obviously, there's no question. But the throws that he makes are pro throws. There's no question he can play at the level. He's got to figure out the advanced parts of the game, and that's what all rookie quarterbacks need to do.
That's what's going to take him from being like an average bounce around quarterback to a guy that can stay in a city for 10 years and take him to the playoffs, 6, 7 times. But no, you're absolutely right, Matt. The skill set is there. It's just a matter of transforming it from, a college level skill set into a pro skill set. And unfortunately, I think a lot of that hinders on the coaching staff and, the training and all that stuff that goes into that. Because that's why I didn't take the Packers last week, because I knew the Packers defense was banged up. And Justin Fields, when he's on, look at Cincinnati. It's Cincinnati in Las Vegas. He looked good. And,
the one thing he did against Green Bay that he hadn't done yet was use his feet. And that's obviously one of his best, best attributes is his athleticism. Everyone knows about it. And he really actually used the ground game as a weapon against Green Bay for the first time. And I think that's a sign that he's getting a little bit more comfortable with the pace of the game. And that he, that's maybe things are slowing down a little bit in his brain, that he can think that, hey, I can go through my first, second, third read. Now I got to go, and now it's, it wasn't just, okay, it's not there and then run. He was it just seemed like he was hesitant to run, and that wasn't obviously typical for him. So I think once you started seeing him run a little bit against Green Bay, and I think you'll see that a little bit more out of him here in the next couple of weeks. So.
And that's what I worry.
He's going to have to against Tampa.
Don't hinder that on him. That's obviously one of his major skill sets. So don't,
get him out of the pocket.
Yeah, and even design some plays where it's, not to compare him to another, but like Patrick Mahomes, there's times where they intentionally will, send him on a run or, use his speed to his advantage. And it's like, don't try and take that away, because that is a very prominent skill set that he has that not every quarterback has. Let him use that, but also at the same time, you've got to develop.
That's the key of having, such athleticism combined with a really strong arm, because you got to play both the deep threat and the underneath him. You can stretch a defense out either way. So,
and I think, like you said, if he can get there, I think he's going to be a really good talent. Right now, I think of all the rookie quarterbacks that are in the NFL right now, it's Trevor Lawrence and him. I think Trevor Lawrence still has the highest upside. I think he's going to be a very long quarterback, but I think Justin Fields, if given the right tools, is going to be really good. You've seen some good stuff.
I think Trey Lance is going to be very good too.
I agree, Zach.
I think his skill set's through the roof.
Oh yeah,
he's got.
That's what I mean.
I don't disagree with you at all. The only time I've seen Trey Lance this year was in very, very limited time. So I can't even count. But I think that those three, Zach Wilson's already shown, unfortunately, he's got to play for the Jets. So
Mac Jones isn't bad.
No, Mike Jones, as long as he's playing in New England, is going to be consistent. And he's learning. He's getting better. But like Justin Fields, there is a skill set there that I like a lot, being able to use those feet. And like you said, Maddie, when he throws, when he makes good, really nice throws, it's pretty elite level stuff. So don't get down too hard right now. But I know I feel you guys. That front office is just brutal right now, and I don't know how much
That's
longer.
That's your problem.
Yeah, exactly. If Pace is around, I just don't see how it's going to.
Also, I heard Big Cat say this: if Aaron Rodgers owns us, he needs to start paying some bills.
That was
That's true.
That was a pretty. I've got my "I Own You" T-shirt. It's in the mail right now, so I did order that.
I mean,
good for you. Hey, good for
if I was
you.
a Packer fan, I unquestionably
Well,
fucking
yeah.
doubt would have that. So.
Well, and you got to give credit. White Sox Dave said it on Redline Radio. He said, "I wish," and I'm not saying this because I'm a Packers fan, but like every team wishes they had a guy that could do that for 15
Justin Fields
years.
went at the fucking Lambeau and had the ability to do that, I would buy 1,000 of his fucking jerseys. So
exactly,
I can't lie.
One day, Matty.
If he could go in there in 15 years and just strut in the end zone, maybe do a Lambeau leap and yell into those fuckers' faces that I own you. Yeah, give me the Justin Fields jerseys all day.
I couldn't say anything about it because it's the point. If you've got a guy that can do that, God bless him.
Absolutely.
Before we move on to our college football week 8 preview, we have to give a shout out to our sponsor, Connect Roasters. They make the best coffee around that you can purchase. They work with our guy, Dom Frederick and Ian Happ. So it's good stuff. Zach loves it. Zach's mom loves it. It's incredible coffee. You cannot go wrong. Make sure to check out their website, connectroasters.com. Follow them on Twitter at Connect Roasters. You can find their product at Dom's and Foxtrot Market, but you can also find it on connectroasters.com. So make sure you check out.
They have a new nitro brew.
I did see, and did I see cans coming? Is that what I saw?
I think that's what it comes in.
Is that what it is? That's in the cans?
Yep.
Incredible. So if you're a canned coffee connoisseur, make sure you check out connectroasters.com and on Twitter at Connect Roasters.
I know the Connect Roasters Twitter account was looking for like what Myers store would you want us in? So it's like if you guys are listening, start heading out to St. Charles and take that one.
There you go.
Also, Christmas is right around the corner, so
100%. Zach, I've got the perfect idea, and I'm going to start I've actually started my Christmas shopping, but people are getting Connect Roasters coffee, and they're getting new TCF merch from Beer Baseball Repeat because it's incredible. I got my hoodies in, like I said, they are incredible. People are getting coffee and TCF merch. That's what you're getting for Christmas.
Yeah, I think that's a great combo for Christmas. Everyone should be getting that for Christmas.
Couldn't agree more. Let's move into our Week 8 preview. Probably a good thing we didn't have a Week 7 show last week. I don't know about you guys, but last week of college football kind of stunk. Not a ton of great games. Obviously some wild stuff in the Tennessee Ole Miss game. But it just felt like the slate kind of dropped the ball a little bit on Saturday. Let me run down some in-state games. Of course, I got to start with my Huskies. 5-2. I don't think any of us here on this show would have guessed through 7 games.
They're going to be dancing in the bowl.
Yes, they are. We're going bowling. But they got a tough test.
I think what I just said made no sense.
You combine college sports. I respect the hell out of that, Zach.
I said you're going to be dancing into a bowl game. That doesn't – you could say that.
Yeah, whatever. I liked it. I like the combination. But
if you go to a bowl game, you might be dancing.
Oh, you should be, especially when everyone picked NIU to be the bottom team of the MAC. Sitting at 5-2, but they got to go to Central Michigan this weekend. Northwestern's starting to climb back into things. They're 3-3. Unfortunately, they have to go to the Big House in Michigan. This will be a huge test to see if Northwestern has anything in the tanks. I don't know. Have you guys thought anything about Northwestern since they got kind of embarrassed week 1 against Michigan State? Because I know I sure haven't.
No, not a big fan of Northwestern football, but –
yeah,
they're not very good this year. But like I said, it's also a big test for Michigan too.
Yes. Oh yeah. Michigan highly ranked right now. I believe still undefeated. You got to take care. And we all agree that the Big Ten is at least the West is down. But I mean, it's still an in-conference game. You can't look past anybody right now, especially if you want to
look at Iowa.
Oh, absolutely.
Beat by Purdue. You can't look past anybody in the Big Ten.
100%. Couple teams I'm going to run through real quick are not very good in the state of Illinois. Illinois at 2-5. They go to Penn State. Probably going to get mollywopped as usual.
Oh,
but again,
did you hear their coach?
Oh, he was just dogging Lovey for not bringing dudes in.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, he didn't waste any time to dog Lovey on that, but they're not good. And but like we said, not 30 seconds ago, you still got to show up and play the game. But if I had to put money on it right now, I think Penn State's going to rout them.
Mm-hmm.
I just think Penn
I
State's
don't know
better.
how he's going to get guys going out there to bust ass playing for him after kind of throwing literally everybody on the roster under the bus.
Yeah, that's a tough look. That is a tough look. In the FCS, unfortunately, Western and Eastern are at 1-6. And Illinois State is at 2-4, probably not going to be sniffing around the playoffs in the FCS this year. But the Southern Illinois Salukis, number 4 team in the country, they are sitting at 6-1. Their only loss is to Montana, I believe. Or no, not Montana. I'm sorry. Kansas State, who was ranked at the time. They did beat a very highly ranked FCS school, and they have their matchup this weekend is at home. I forgot to write down who they played, but sit at number 4, looking like they're going to the FCS tournament as long as things continue to roll the way they do. So shout out to the Salukis. Let's talk about some national games. Guys, let me know what you think. In the Big Ten, we got Wisconsin and Purdue. You guys going to be tuning into this? I think both these teams kind of stink.
It's at Purdue. It's off a big win.
You're
going to have to kind of see what can Purdue keep it moving, or was that just a Cinderella game? Who knows? And then Wisconsin, I mean, these two teams. I hate to be this way.
Very, very good.
If you're looking to go to do a little apple picking, this may be the Saturday.
Yeah, either last weekend or this weekend, my man. I'm not going to
disagree. Just tough. I think the best game was Thursday, Coastal Carolina losing.
Yeah, I think so too.
Wednesday.
Yeah,
sorry, Wednesday.
I don't disagree. Matt, you said you think Purdue's pretty good, or is that what you said?
I don't think Purdue's that bad. I think Purdue's a solid
good
team.
Coach.
And Brom's a really good coach. I think defense is tough. I mean, obviously they played shut down Iowa, beat the shit out of them. Last week.
When was the last time Purdue was ranked? I think
they had to be a couple years ago. I think
they
beat Ohio State.
They 24, 25 right now?
They're 25 right now. They're a 3.5-point dog at home. I kind of like that. I think it's a big chance for them to come out and say, hey, we beat Iowa last weekend. It wasn't a fluke. Exactly. If you can come out and you can handle business as an underdog against Wisconsin, then okay, now you got a little bit of shine. I don't disagree there.
Redline Radio did a.
What has Wisconsin's offense shown you?
Oh, nothing. Wisconsin's bad.
Wisconsin
should have lost last week to Army.
But he did an interview on Redline Radio, and he kind of said, with Wisconsin or whatever, they've had big wins before, and then they lost the next week. So you can't look at that big win. You got to keep it moving. And I did not realize that the defensive coordinator for the Wisconsin Badgers has turned down the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, it's Jim Leonard, right?
Yeah.
Bold move.
That's crazy.
Bold move there.
He knows.
Let's move in. Guys, if you follow it, Wake Forest is undefeated and ranked right now. Guys, I'll be honest, I kind of forgot Wake Forest had a football team.
Wake Forest is very good.
A lot of teams that haven't been ranked in a while playing really well.
And they play a pretty good Army team who gave Wisconsin hell last weekend. Army sitting at 4-2. I mean, guys, I don't know if any human on the planet has ever said this, but I might be watching the Army and Wake Forest football game on Saturday night.
I think we will.
We might have to. I never thought I'd say that. In the Big 12, we have Oklahoma State and Iowa State, 2 ranked teams going at it there, I believe. I might be wrong on that. I'm sorry, Iowa State is no longer ranked. That's what it was. Iowa State's not ranked. They are favored by a touchdown against the number 8 Oklahoma State Cowboys. Anything on this one, fellas?
I absolutely love Iowa State.
Even at -7?
I think exactly because it's -7. I think it's one of those where they're like, please come bet the team that's undefeated and ranked. Please.
I see what you're saying. It feels like Oklahoma State's been like a sneaky top 10 ranked team.
Iowa State
think they're as good as they're ranked.
Top 10 team that looked like dog shit in September, and they're finally starting to round into form. They've got one of the best running backs in the country in Breece Hall. They got Brock Purdy is still. At the end of the last season, Brock Purdy was like kind of a Heisman, like kind of a sleeper, one of those guys that they said, hey, if he has a big year, he could work his way into the first round. He's a high level talented quarterback. they've got everything that can compete with Oklahoma State from the offensive side. And Oklahoma State's defense is very, very good. Don't get me wrong. But they were getting their doors blown off and about to get routed against Texas when they got a pick six that went 95 yards. It was about to be a 24-3 game when that happened. You know, Texas was marching the ball right down their throats, about to score at the half, and Texas was getting the ball at the half too. It was one of those plays that everything swung the momentum completely on one play. And I don't mean to say it's a weak win because of that, but I don't think that makes Oklahoma State, you know, some high-level team or something, because I don't think I think Texas had them. Texas had them, and they're right where they wanted them, and let it go. And I don't think Iowa State is one of those teams. I think they're just kind of finding their footing this year, and I think they're about to go on a run, and you know, they can still get to 10 wins, still get one of the elite bowl games, and I think that's what they're targeting right now.
Getting hot at the right time. You've definitely changed my mind. In a weird change of things, the Pitt Clemson game, actually, Pitt is the better team this year. They have a better record, but
Clemson is struggling.
Yeah, and you hate to see it happen to Dabo Swinney.
Oh,
right?
man.
You just hate to see it.
I know how much you like him.
Yeah, that ass clown. But Pitt is at home, the number 23 ranked team in the country. They are a 3-point favorite over Clemson. I don't think anybody saw this coming at the beginning of the season. Are you guys buying in? Do you think Pitt, I believe they have one of the best quarterbacks in the country. Do you think they have a legit shot at taking down Clemson, even though, they're down a little bit this year?
I think they do. I think this is a bad Clemson team. I don't really know how that really happens, how it falls off like that. But
because
I think
zero offensive line. That's the problem for them.
Very true. And you lose a number one quarterback. It's not easy to replace that. I mean,
no.
As much as you want to say Dabo is a great coach or whatever, you can't replace the guy who went number one overall and was an amazing quarterback for how many ever years he was in college football. And like you said, you hate to see it happen to Dabo.
What's the thing too is, like, you can have 5 stars every position. If you forget the offensive line, it's just the wheels fall off really quickly. However,
you can get 5 stars and still not have the number one quarterback. You know what I mean?
This is one game, though, boys. I have bet already this weekend, and I did bet Clemson +3. Again, my philosophy being it's kind of similar to the Iowa State, where it was like, how is this line what it is? I'm not gonna take the trap kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna purposely try to walk myself away from what I think is a trap. So that's all it is for me. I could not tell anybody they're crazy for taking Pitt in this one.
Don't hate that. And 2 sneaky late games that I think are going to be really good. We got Oregon and UCLA. Oregon has 1 loss. UCLA has 2. Little late night. Do you think Oregon has what it takes to finish the season out with 1 loss, win the Pac-12, and maybe at least get themselves in a conversation about being a Final Four team?
Maddie, you can take that.
It's a tough spot for him here. I think this is a tough game. I think this is going to be.
UCLA is better than a lot of people know.
Chip Kelly wants to beat Oregon. And
yes.
I think DTR is a really good quarterback. He's, I think it's going to be an interesting game. This one I'm definitely looking forward to watch. I don't.
What's the over/under on this game? It has to be like 70.
Let me get it. I got it right here.
I'm right here too. Hang on 1 second. But yeah, no, it's one of those. It's a game that I've been kind of.
60 points.
Slate is a little.
Oh, really? That seems low. It seems like a game that's. I think this is going to be a game that's going to be full of points.
Kind of with you on that one, actually. I think.
2 offenses that can just get going.
Yeah. And 2 defenses that are susceptible to giving up a lot of points.
2 athletic quarterbacks. And like I said, Chip Kelly, if he has a chance, he's not going to take his foot off the gas pedal. He's going to try to score the entire game. So
I think so too.
Whatever's going on, either way. So I don't know. I think it's a good spot for UCLA to kind of go for the upside.
And one other one, and kind of one I was very surprised on the records of these teams. San Diego State 6-0 versus Air Force 6-1. I think that'll be a good one. You guys got anything on the Aztecs and the Falcons?
Love San Diego State in this one.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Zach, have you watched any of the San Diego State or Air Force this year?
Maybe a little bit of San Diego State for
Yeah.
little late night games.
Awesome
But
defense.
nothing's better than these late night football games on a Saturday.
San Diego State's got
Beautiful.
one of those secondaries that flies around. Those guys,
Yes.
they're buzzing all the time. They're a really fun defense to watch, and it's like you said, Zach, the night games on Saturday night. Once you get like kind of that fog from the day, and it's just like, all right, well, I just need something to watch. It's like relatively entertaining, and San Diego State comes through very frequently in that regard. So I like that defense a lot.
Them or Hawaii.
Of course.
Yeah, well, that's the obvious one.
Hey, we got an 11 p.m. Hawaii kickoff tonight, them in New Mexico State. Hawaii an 18-point favorite. I didn't even have it down, but once you brought that up, Zach, I knew I had to talk about it. Obviously, the last college football game we have to talk about, boys, one of the biggest rivalries in college football, Notre Dame, USC, kicking off at 6:30. Notre Dame 5-1. USC obviously struggling 3-3, but Notre Dame's only a 7-point favorite. You think the Trojans are going to pull the upset here?
I kind of hope so.
We know how much you love Notre Dame, Zach.
Wouldn't hate it. I'm with Zach there. I would not hate it at all. So.
I think either USC is going to win this game or they're going to get beat by like 30 points.
So you're saying they're either going to win or lose, Boomy?
That's not – I specified way more than that. Give me more credit than that. I don't think they're going to keep it close and lose. If they keep it close, they're going to win. But if they don't keep it close, I mean, they're going to get their doors blown off. But I also don't know if Notre Dame's like –
Under is a little interesting on this one because it's like, what, 50 – let's see what we got.
57 and a half.
I got 58 here. And
okay.
Do you see either of those offenses putting up 30 points?
No.
I
really don't.
I don't know. That one's interesting to me. So I think that might be a nice little under to look at. A lot of defense and a lot of like slow the pace down too, though. Like, you know, Jack Cohen's not going to be running like 30 up offense or anything.
No.
Yeah, I agree. Well, that is it for college football. Let's move into our Week 7 NFL pick show. Quick update in the standings. Per usual, I'm still in first place at 20-16-2. Zach is at 500 at 19-19. And Maddie is not far behind at 16-22. Zach won last week, went 4-2. I went 2-4. And Maddie had a tough one at 1-5. Let's go ahead and jump into noon games. I will take the Patriots -7 against the Jets. I think the Jets absolutely stink. I refuse to bet on the Jets, and I just think that the Jets having to go in or playing the Patriots, there's just something about it that you just know that Bill Belichick's going to have something, and I really don't trust the Jets at all. So Patriots -7, and it's in New England. That's an easy one for me. And I will also take what did I have down? I got Miami +2.5. They are at home against the Falcons. I think being a home dog, and the Falcons are just not that good. I'm not saying Miami's good, but that was an embarrassing loss last weekend. You got to bounce back from that. They're bad. I'm not going to sit here and say that they're a good team, but Atlanta's bad too. So I will take the Dolphins at +2.5. Obviously, money line that low. Zach, what do you got for the noon slate?
I'm going to go Titans +4.5 versus the Chiefs. Maybe going to go money line also. I don't think the Chiefs
I can give you 5 there, Zach.
Or 5? I'll take 5.
We'll
Titans +5. Chiefs, the defense not very good this year. And the offense is going to keep them in games, but I'm hoping the 4.5. Like
Tennessee's
maybe
playing
money
well
line.
right now.
Yes, they are. And then the Bengals +6.5 in Baltimore against the Ravens. I'm not saying they're going to win, but +6.5. Joe Burrow, I think he can keep them in the game, hopefully under that number.
Yeah, same thing. Cincinnati's good. We talked about this a lot this season. Yes, he had some bad games, but you know when they're good, they're good. I mean, even in some like the Green Bay game that they lost, he still played well, and I like that pick too, Zach.
Jamar
thank
Chase
you.
Jamar Chase is unbelievable.
That guy's
very good.
I'm riding a game from each of you guys. Actually, I'm riding that one with Cincy for the same reasons. Joe Burrow, I think, is he's not there yet. He's starting to approach it, and you can see the signs that guy's going to be a one of the high-end quarterbacks in the league. I think he's going to have no problem covering 6.5 against Baltimore, a team that's coming off a big win. And the other one is New England. I'm gonna ride with Boomy on that one. I think Belichick is going to dismantle Zach Wilson this week. I think they're due for a big win.
It's gonna be a statement game.
Been a tough couple weeks for New England, and Belichick doesn't handle losing kindly. So I think he's going to have that team ready to roll against an inferior opponent. So I'm going to take New England there.
Love it there. The afternoon slate is tough. We talked about this earlier. There's a lot of very heavy favorite games in the afternoon slate. I'm going to take the Las Vegas Raiders -3. I think that I think this is more of just me betting against Philadelphia. And obviously, they showed early in the season, obviously everything they've gone through in the last 2 weeks, but they showed early in the season, they start off 3-0. There's still talent there. I think that Vegas is, at the end of the day, it still has a more talented roster, and I'm just not convinced that Philly's going to be able to do much about it. They're kind of in shambles right now. They obviously gutted out a performance last week, but man, I don't trust the Eagles as far as I can throw them. Give me the Raiders -3 at home, and probably just because it's the biggest spread of the day, give me the Lions +16. They're not going to quit. I think they're going to get beat pretty badly, but I just don't know if it's going to be 17. I think it's going to stay, 7-10 against the Rams. So I might be wrong there. This just seems like a ton of points.
Well, Boomy, I'm actually going to take the actual biggest number at 17.5, -17.5 Cardinals over the Texans. I think that the Cardinals are gonna make a statement in this game. I think they will be 6-0, 7-0 after this game. They want to prove that they're the best team in the NFL right now. Give me that 17.5, and also Bears +12.5 in Tampa Bay. I think that's too many points. I think the Bears will hopefully stay in the game, at least stay within the touchdown. Let's hope.
They haven't gotten routed,
Shut up. Don't say that.
Sorry. Matt, you're muted.
God damn it. You guys took the two biggest faves in the afternoon. I'm going to take the two biggest dogs in the afternoon. The first one, I'm going to take, No. You took Detroit, didn't you, Boomy?
Yeah, I took Detroit, but Zach took the other one.
Sorry, I said that wrong. I'm taking the Rams in that one. I think Matt Stafford's going to absolutely try to score 1,000 points against the Lions. I think Campbell is going to he's already lost Jared Goff. I think that's pretty evident. He already threw him under the bus publicly in 6 weeks into the season. I think that team is the Lions are the Lions. And Dan Campbell is no different than any of these other coaches they've had in the past. He may be a great soundbite. Maybe a fun guy, maybe somebody we all want to root for. I mean, personally, I hate the fucking Lions, but Dan Campbell seems like a decent guy. I think the Rams are going to shove the ball down their throats the whole fucking day. The other one, though, I'm gonna go the big dog is Houston. I think they're going to just gunk that game up as much as humanly possible.
It's a lot of points. It's a lot of points.
I think they're just going to try to hit the brakes as much as they can because that's the only way that they can kind of keep that thing close. And Kyler Murray's a little bit banged up. I don't think the Cardinals are going to hit the gas pedal kind of thing. I don't think they're going to try to go for 60 against that team. So I just feel like that's going to be one of those games like the red zone loses track of a little bit. It's just kind of, you can see the Cardinals lead by double digits the whole game. You know what I mean? Up by 10.
You get off to a 10-point lead and then it just stays there the whole afternoon.
It's just running back and forth. That's what I'm going to go with the Texans +17.5. And I've actually got the Rams at 15.5 here. So I know you said a little bit bigger number, but I got 15.5 for the Rams here.
We'll go 15.5. I don't have a problem with that.
You could take your number still if you've got it. If you've got it a book that shows that, just take it. I
have it pulled up on the score app, so we'll go 15.5.
It's a weird number too, so it's a weird number, so I don't think it's
15.5.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to
matter too much.
We can revisit it if it does come down to it next week.
Oh, well, Maddie will fight you for it.
Oh, yeah, and I run the spreadsheet, so I'll just do what I want to do with it.
You doctor up the spreadsheet as well.
Check my math, which is probably a smart thing to do because I'm not very good at it. Leaving me in charge of this was a wild move. Sunday night, we got the Colts and the 49ers. Colts are 2-4. 49ers are 4-3. Give me the Colts.
Gross.
This game is super gross.
I'm with you, Boomy. I'm with you. Colts +4.
No, I said the other way.
I think you said San Francisco.
And then you said Colts.
I thought that's what you said, Colts.
No, San Francisco -4.
Then you're wrong. Sorry, you're actually wrong.
I got 4.5 on DraftKings, by the way.
All right, 4.5 it is.
I'll take 4.5. I don't think the 49ers are that good right now. Greg Kittle out.
49ers coming off of a bye week at home. I like that.
But I'm going to take the Colts, but now I got thinking about it. Carson Wentz hasn't been moving very fast.
Zach,
but I like Jonathan Taylor. I think he's
Jonathan Taylor.
Keep that offense moving.
Give him the ball. That's where you sold me again, because I was with you, Zach. Because my initial gut said, give me the 4.5, give me the Colts, because they can kind of, Jimmy G's going to play, big fucking deal. It's not like he's that great, but it's not the 49ers haven't been all that impressive. But then it's like, yeah, they got Carson Wentz, but then they got Jonathan Taylor. So it's like, all right, let's go with him. I'm gonna stick with my gut. I'm gonna ride with Zach on that one. I'm gonna take the Colts.
Indy +4.5. There's the Monday night game, also not great. I mean, obviously, they schedule these games way far in advance. We've got the Saints and the Seahawks. The Saints at 3-2, the Seahawks at 2-4. There's just something in my brain that refuses to trust Geno Smith. Give me the Saints -4.5.
I'm with you.
I agree
for
the exact same
Jameis
reason.
Winston.
That's literally the exact same
Jameis Winston against this offense against this defense may have 500 yards.
And we saw a weird Jameis workout video this week.
This Seahawks defense is bad.
Yeah. Yes.
It's like last in almost all the categories.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a week where Jameis throws 4 touchdowns, 500 yards.
Yeah, I also there's just a block in my brain that says Geno Smith is the quarterback of that team, and his own
if you think about it, they weren't playing that great with Russell Wilson playing quarterback. So why would you think they're going to be playing that well with Geno Smith, who hadn't started for how many years?
I forgot Geno Smith was in the NFL until Russell Wilson got hurt.
That'll happen.
It's just, it is what it is. Matt, are you also on the Saints?
I am. Yep.
All right. We're all riding the Saints there.
I don't see Geno Smith winning a game against a good NFL team.
Perfect. Well, boys, as always, we got to wrap up the show with our TCF top 3. And this week, with Halloween looming right around the corner, we're going to go with our favorite Halloween candy. This is probably the best part of the month of October is the Halloween candy. So does any of you want to start?
I will go first. I am going to go with the Airheads. I love Airheads. The little mini Airheads too. They give you 2-3 of them at a time. The Airheads, number 1.
Don't hate that pick at all. Airheads are solid. Matt, you got one?
Yeah, mine you got to go to the right neighborhood for, because it's a little bit. It's not the Smarty level, the cheapskate houses. But if you get the Halloween pumpkin Reese's cups, Reese's peanut butter pumpkins, oh my, they're just like the egg for Easter. The tree for Christmas. It's got extra peanut butter. It's so extra, it's extra fluffier compared to the regular Reese's cup. The chocolate is softer. It's just a way better product, and there's something about the pumpkin giving you the extra flair for October. So give me the Halloween pumpkin from the Reese's peanut butter cup line.
I love that pick. I'm a big Reese's fan, so I'm with you on that.
Get the fuck out.
Matt, I'm gonna go my second favorite.
Imitation cups.
Yeah. Oh no, that should be no. No one should be allowed to make an imitation peanut butter cup because Reese's perfected it. There's no need to try.
What is that one? Is it Justine's or something like that?
Yeah. No thanks. Give me the tried and true, the real deal. Don't give me this nonsense. All right, I'm gonna go with the small 2-pack of Kit Kats.
You fucker.
That's a good one.
Kit Kats are elite. I love Kit
That's
Kats.
a good one.
And then you get the 2 sticks. You don't feel like a glutton for eating them because you got 2 little sticks. You can take them down in 2 bites. There's no need to even tear them apart, if you don't want to. I just think it's a no-brainer. I love the mini Kit Kats. I'm going to go with my second round pick, and I'm also going to specify the snack size, the fun size, 100-gram bar. It's the perfect ratio to caramel.
That's a good one.
To chocolate to rice. If you get the full size
you only get on Halloween.
Exactly. But if you get a full size one, it almost feels like the ratio is a little off with chocolate and Krispies because
never had a full size one.
See,
Booby, you just spoke for me. I'm going to pick a different candy, but it's literally the exact same reasoning for my next pick. It's the portion size changes the game on it, and this is where the fun size is better for this particular candy, and that's the peanut butter Snickers.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Peanut butter
Snickers.
Those things, they give you the square one, and it's got like the right mix of the nut, the nougat, the caramel, all of it, and then a little bit of peanut butter in there too. Ooh, baby. And I swear they only come in like the mixed packages in the Halloween, the big, bundle bags with like the mixed varieties or whatever.
Yep.
And you always get a bunch in there, it feels like. And those are always like a gold little item that's always hanging out at the bottom when you grab one of those.
That's a great choice, Maddie.
I'm getting peanut butter heavy though with the peanut butter Snickers and the Halloween pumpkin. So I think
there's no need to apologize, Matt. Peanut butter is one of the greatest products ever invented in this country.
Peanut butter is a top-notch candy product. That's for sure.
Oh, my favorite is it's like a Snickers, but it's like a Christmas tree.
Yep. Yes. You definitely get a different
so
portion.
My second one is going to be Whoppers, and it comes in the little bags.
Ooh.
You guys don't like Whoppers?
I don't.
No, I do.
They're delicious. I'm actually happy Boomy doesn't like them.
Yeah, you probably made a wise choice.
They weren't on my list, but I'm not throwing Whoppers away. That's for damn sure.
And then my last one, I'll go with this because I usually only get these like runts.
Yeah.
That's a good call. Those are ones you only get on Halloween.
Halloween.
Yeah, it's
I wish I wouldn't have done this, guys. I literally had a box of runts sitting right over next to me, like because I bought them at like the gas station or something. Runts or fire, Zach. That's a great choice.
Very Halloween specific.
I want to throw this one out, and this is not going to be a pick I'm taking, but I want to make the. You know what? We're going to save it. I'm not going to talk about it because we got next week's show is going to be.
Oh, okay.
Next week's show is going to be ones we hate. So I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to give away picks. I'll just pick my third one, and this is another one where it comes down to portion size. And it's like if you get like now I'm in the time frame where I'm handing out candy. So now I'm selective on what I pick. So if you come to my house, I got a fucking ton of full size bars this year. That's what I'm giving out. But you get the supplemental packs like when you run out in our neighborhood because it's like, we get ransacked within 20 minutes and then you got to resort to backup candy. So for the backup candy, I buy like a lot of the stuff that I like myself. And I like Starburst. However, if you get the fun packs of Starburst, like the fun size, they turn out to be the same flavors in each. It's a 2-piece Starburst, but it's the same colors or the same flavors in each pack usually. So it's like 2 orange, 2 pink, 2 yellow, 2 red.
I realize that.
Usually that's what it is. So when you get a bunch of those, you get 2 of your orange ones, you get your Starburst, you get the double kick, you get like that because everybody, you can't put 1 Starburst in your mouth. You need at least 2. And when the mixing flavors gets a little bit like.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
So give me the double hitter. I love Starburst. They're a perfect chew. But I like getting that little sneaky double pack where it's the same flavor though.
Don't hate that pick at all, Maddie. With the final pick, the Mr. Irrelevant, I'm going to go with the fun size small bag of Skittles because it gives you a little bit of fruit here and there. I'm obviously more of a chocolate guy.
But they're bringing lime back this year?
Yeah, that's big news.
They're supposed to, remember? Aren't they supposed to bring lime back, the original?
Yeah, they're actually this is embarrassing. I probably shouldn't even tell this. I follow way too many candy people on like TikTok and like Twitter and stuff. So like all these like new release stuff. Yeah, they're actually going to release an all lime flavored bag of Skittles to commemorate their bringing of lime
for payback. Like,
yeah,
we know you missed it.
Yeah,
that's
excessive. I kind
of agree with
Zach.
The little.
Yuck.
So when you're in between, 100 Grands or Reese's Pumpkins or Kit Kats, you want to mix in a little fruit here and there, a little fruit flavoring, not actual fruit, obviously, but just switch it up just a little bit. The Skittles
Here's your
are
fruit. Here's your fruit, Skittles.
It's pretty much flavors. So going to the chocolate peanut butter route, you got to get some of that like fruity flavor. That's for damn sure.
Yes, and I think the mini Skittles is not too much. I'm all in on that. What are some honorable mentions we missed here, guys?
I went Nerds, like the little boxes of Nerds. Milk Duds. I said Sour Patch Kids, but I wouldn't say Sour Patch Kids are a big Halloween one.
That's actually a more growing thing on
Sour Patch Kids.
Yeah, the little packages. That's a growing trend, Zach. You're on the trends or ahead of the trends for sure. Any others?
I'm just a big fan of Sour Patch Kids.
If anyone listens to any of our top threes over the last 2 years, they would gather that Zach is a big Sour Patch Kids.
If there's a top three that has to do with candy, Sour Patch Kids will be on my list.
Matt, did we forget anything?
I don't think so. I think we touched them all. I think we touched the key points.
How do you guys feel about the M&Ms, the little packages of M&Ms on Halloween?
Basic.
Yeah.
If they're playing, get the fuck out of my face.
Yeah, if they're peanut, I'm all in.
Peanut, definitely.
Plain, no thanks.
Yeah, see you later.
Exactly. Well, make sure you check in next week. We're going to do the top
Plain
three.
Basically, Almond Joy.
No. Let's take it easy on the Almond Joy slander here. Almond Joys are a fine candy bar.
Almond Joys are trash.
You're an idiot. That's a bad take. Almond Joys are great. Chocolate, coconut, and almonds.
Bro.
Make sure you check in next week. We're going to do the top three worst Halloween candies, and I think we've already dabbled in one that we may disagree on already. But anyway, that was episode 117 of Typical Chicago Fans. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you check us out on Twitter at typical_Chicago, our Facebook and Instagram pages. Subscribe to the YouTube for all the content in video form. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, or Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you check us out there. You can follow me on Twitter at BoomyTCF, Zach at ZLiliaTCF, and Maddie at schools_01. Shout out to our sponsors. Connect Roasters Coffee. Make sure you check them out. And head to Beer Baseball Repeat on Instagram to find our new merch line. That was episode 117 of Typical Chicago Fans. We love you all.
Peace.